I finally figured it out. Stephen Farkas, and he's going to give us an excerpt from his new book that is inspired by this very brewery.
That's right, it's inspired by this brewery because when I've done many events here, and David said, wouldn't it be cool if we had a haunted brewery story? So I said, sure, and then I wrote it. And originally I was dressed as Death, but then Destiny said to me that, wow, that really looks like you're, that really looks like you're, some kind of a cult. And I said, well, that goes really well with the book because the backstory of this is, that we created, that they bought a space, but they didn't know the background of the space before they created their brewery. And of course, there was a bit of a front road church that did not. Their version of Christianity was, well, if you're not rich, and if you're poor, and if you're homeless, then we should just get rid of you. So I'm going to start actually with chapter 2. After spending 10 minutes just looking at the sign of their new brewery, the brothers unlocked the front door and went inside. It had taken them nearly a year to get everything ready. Every time they thought they had done everything needed to pass state law, something suddenly was amiss. Then the tanks constantly broke while they were brewing the various beers. It seems like someone doesn't want us to open here, Robert said, every time something went wrong. Don't be silly, Joe always told him. But they had finally made it to the end. They stood there looking around the tasting room, the tanks filled with beer, and the kegs attached to the lines and taps. We made it, Joe said. Took forever, but we made it. Yeah, we made it, Robert said, still thinking about all of the problems that they had last year, feeling less excited. They had hired a young college student to work the weekends. They planned the grand opening for the following Saturday. When's Bella due to come in? Robert asked. After her class today, Joe said. Okay, we need to get her here to help get ready for Saturday, Robert said. She knows she was a perfect reminder, Joe said. Reminding Robert that it was he who thought she was the perfect person for the job. I know, Robert said. He knew Joe thought he found Bella attractive, and that was why he pushed him to hire her. Joe was not wrong. They continued to walk around the brewery, past the tasting room and over to the tanks, which were visible to the tasting room, so the customers would be able to see them. Like most small independent breweries, the idea customers could see the beer being made added to the experience. Looks good, Robert said. I think we're ready, don't you? Joe asked. I think so, Robert said. They walked to the small office behind the tanks. Joe sat in the chair and pulled up information on the computer. Oh, it looks like Bella did a good job on our social media, Joe said. Would you even know if she did a good job, Robert asked with a smile. Well, I'm seeing a lot of comments and the number of views looks good. So yeah, seems good, Joe said. Okay, I guess you're right, Robert said. He went back out of the office and wandered to the bathrooms off to the side of the tasting room. He opened the door to each of the two and checked to see they were clean. Well, they look good to me, he said to himself. It was only 3 days until they opened, and Robert was nervous that things wouldn't work out. So he spent time just walking around the brewery doing small things to take his mind off of the grand opening. All right, Robert, get yourself together, he said. Good idea, Bella said. She was standing behind him. Oh, hey, I didn't hear you come in, Robert said. Guess I'm just sneaky, Bella said. She continued past him on her way to the office to clock in. Robert continued his nervous walking about the brewery. Bella arrived at the office. It was empty. Joe had left the office to stand to the front. Bella took her punch card and ran it through the clock. When she turned around, she saw something terrifying. There in front of her was a scene. A man in dirty clothes, maybe homeless. He was on his knees in front of a man wearing a mask in the vision of an angel. Out of nowhere, a woman came up behind him and struck the homeless man in the head with a hammer. The blood flew through the air and landed on Bella's face. She turned and ran out of the office. She ran up to Joe screaming about the blood on her face and what she had just seen in the office. What blood? Joe asked. Bella pulled her hands away from her face. There was no blood on them. They were clean. She looked over at clean stainless steel on the bar backing. Her face had no blood on it. What the fuck, she said. I saw it. It was all there, right in front of me. She and Joe walked back to the office. They looked inside. It just looked as it always had. A messy, organized office. No homeless man, or man with a mask, or man with a hammer. I saw it, Bella said. I'm not lying. Joe looked at her. She was still trembling in fear. She didn't know what to say to her. I'm not sure what you actually saw, Joe said. Maybe you need a day off. I'm not sure I want to come back, she said. Whoa, just take the day. If you don't want to come back, then you go ahead and quit, Joe said. Okay, Bella said, still shaking. She slowly walked towards the door. The scene kept replaying in her head. She wondered if she might be losing her mind, but she saw what she saw. Hey, Bella, where are you going? Robert asked. She stopped and looked over at him. His face was covered in blood. She shrieked and then ran out of the brewery. Bella, Robert yelled. What's wrong? Robert ran out through the front door, following Bella. The look she gave him scared Robert. It was like he was afraid of him. It was like, for some reason, he scared her. Bella, what did I do? He asked. She jumped into her car and drove quickly out of the parking lot. The tires squealed as the car flew fast up the street. Robert just stood there worried about what he might have done to scare her. What did I do? He asked himself. Nothing, Joe said as he walked up behind Robert. You did nothing. She said she saw something terrifying in the office. What did she say? Robert asked. I don't think you would believe me if I told you, Joe said. Well, try me, Robert said. She said she saw a man with an angel mask standing over a homeless man, and a woman came from behind and hit the homeless man in the head, squirting blood everywhere, including on her, Joe said. Yeah, Robert said. That does sound crazy. Yes, it does, Joe said.